Did you know that if you don't adapt to the new rules of today's market, you could lose thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars without even realizing it? And once those offers are gone, they're going to be gone for good. Now listen, if you're over 60 and you're thinking about selling your Surrey home, this is your chance to get it right and sell it for top dollar. So stick with me because these next few minutes could make all of the difference for you. Moving is tough, and when you're getting older, it can feel even more overwhelming, especially when you've been living in your home for maybe decades. You know, you've raised your family there, made countless memories with friends, and the emotional attachment is real. And I get it. It's really hard to even think about letting go of some of these things. But here's the thing. Today's real estate market is nothing like it was 20 or 30 years ago. And if you try and sell the same way that you did way back then, you could be missing out on a lot of money. So what worked back then in that day? Well, it just does not work anymore. And, you know, I've seen it happen before. And I'm going to tell you really quick about a client of mine who faced a very similar situation. Now, for privacy matters, I'm not going to refer to him by his real name. We're going to call him Bill for the purpose of this story. But, you know, Bill and his wife, they lived in their home for almost 30 years. And like so many of you, they built this lifetime of memories when they were in that home. But when it came time to sell, they were completely overwhelmed by how much the market had actually changed. And Bill thought that what worked decades ago was still going to get him the best price today. But sadly, that was not the case. You know, he needed to adjust his strategy and fast. Now, I'll come back to how things turned out for Bill, but let's first dive into the 10 most important things that you need to know if you're over 60 and you're thinking about selling your home. Now, these tips, they made all of the difference for Bill, and I'm sure that they're also going to help you as well. Let's be honest, today's buyers, they are not like you. They're younger, they're more tech savvy, and they know exactly what they want. So just imagine if your own kids walked into your home today looking to buy it. What would they say? Would they see all of the charm and the character, or would they notice what's outdated or in need of repair probably? Well, today's buyers are going to notice the latter. So what I suggest you do is start by fixing those little maintenance things now, those issues that can be dealt with right now, because buyers don't have the time or the energy to deal with those repairs. And if they see too many of those things that need fixing, they're either going to offer you less money or worse, they're going to walk away entirely. By the way, really quick here, if you're new to this channel, my name is Glen Hopkins and I create videos all about Canadian real estate and my local market of Surrey and White Rock, BC. So if that is something you're interested in, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Also, if you would like some help either buying or selling a home, there is a link in the description box where you can book a call with me. All right, so let's get back to it. Now, speaking of money, another big thing that's really changed is how homes are priced. Buyers today, they don't want to waste time. So if your home is priced too high, they're not even going to look at it. And trust me, they're comparing prices online. They know exactly what is fair. And this, of course, reminds me of Bill. You know, when we first listed his home, he wanted the price to be higher than what I had suggested, thinking that he could negotiate down. But that's not how things work anymore. Today's buyers, they're busy and they know the market and have a pretty good understanding of the fair market value of most homes on the market today. And because of that, they don't really have time for endless back and forth negotiations. And so, you know, after weeks of no showings, we had to reassess Bill's asking price. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a bit. Now, once you've got your pricing right and hopefully some interest from buyers, there is something else you need to know and be ready for, and that is the inspection. Even if your home is in great shape, inspectors will always find something. After all, that's their job, right? And here's the thing. Expect this and don't get upset when buyers ask for a few repairs to be done. I can tell you, I have seen sellers get far too emotional during this phase. And I'm going to encourage you here to do your utmost to keep your emotions at bay, because those small fixes can keep this deal moving forward for you. And it's just part of the process. And it's better to make those minor concessions right now than risk losing the sale over something really small. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to share with you one of the things that can make or break your sale. So stick with me. But first, let's talk a little bit more about something that often gets overlooked. And that is the emotional side of selling a home. I know what you're going through. It just isn't your house. It's where you raised your family, you made some memories, and you really built a life there. And the idea of letting go, well, it's tough, and that's perfectly normal. But here's what I want you to focus on, and that is, why are you moving? Okay, so maybe it's because you want to downsize, move closer to your family, or just simply change your life a little bit. Whatever the reason is, you need to keep that front and center. It's going to help you go through those emotional things when you're dealing with selling your home. And you don't want to rush the process either. You want to take your time when packing. You're going to do one room at a time. And trust me, you don't want to overwhelm yourself trying to do everything at once. These things pile up. So do just one room at a time and take it slowly. And talking about packing, this brings me to something that I see all of the time, and that's decluttering. Now, I hate to break it to you, but nobody wants your stuff. Not your kids, not the buyers, nobody. So start your decluttering now. And I know it's hard to let go a lot of those things. We all have those items that we've held on to for years. But trust me, the less clutter you have, the better your home is going to show to buyers, okay? And if you want to dive deeper into this and how to declutter faster and more effectively, I have made an entire video dedicated to decluttering. And you can check it out right here by clicking on that link on the screen or visiting this channel after watching this video. And speaking of how your home shows to buyers, staging and professional photos are an absolute must. Today's buyers, they're scrolling through listings online before they even think about visiting your home in person. So you got to remember this. You need to remember that the first showings are always all going to happen virtually on someone's phone or their computer screen. So you really want to make sure that your home looks great in all of those photos. So move things around if necessary, take down personal items, and maybe even give the walls a fresh coat of neutral paint. And if you want even more tips on how to stage your home for maximum impact, I have done another video on that topic, and you can click on it right here to watch that. Now let's talk about something that could cost you or save you a ton of money, and that is your real estate agent. Hiring the wrong agent could cost you thousands of dollars. You don't just want to go with somebody that you know or someone who's been in the business forever. You need someone who understands today's market and has the tools and the know-how to sell in a competitive environment. And that, by the way, brings me back to Bill. After weeks of no offers, we sat down and we adjusted the price to reflect the current market. And guess what? Within just 2 weeks, we had multiple offers on the table, and Bill and his wife, they ended up selling for even more than what they had expected to by implementing a better pricing strategy that made sense during the current market conditions. Sometimes it's all about really just trusting your agent, understanding and adjusting the strategy, the pricing strategy, to fit the dynamics of today's market. Now, another thing that's really important to keep in mind here is timing. Okay, unlike so many people think, you don't have to wait until the spring market to sell your home. If the market is right, list when you are ready. It's about when you are ready. In fact, listing in the fall or the winter, it can actually work in your favor since there's going to be less competition during that time. So don't always just wait for the perfect time, because at the end of the day, if you're ready now, then the right time is also probably going to be right now. And when it does come time to move, here's a tip that's going to save you a lot of stress. Start early. Okay, start early. Don't wait until the last minute to pack all of your things or get rid of things. And don't try and do it all of yourself either, okay? Professional movers or senior moving specialists, they can help you get that job done quickly and more efficiently. And if you have family nearby, ask them for help. I can almost guarantee that they're going to be happy to pitch in and make things easier for you. Lastly, let's talk a little bit about stress, because selling your home, it can be very stressful. But here's the thing. Your stress has a price, and there may come a time when you need to ask yourself, is it really worth holding out for an extra $10,000 or $20,000 if it literally means months of showings and tough negotiations? Sometimes it's just better to accept a fair offer and move on with less stress. And remember, you don't want to drag this out longer than it needs to. Before you list your home though, there is one huge mistake that I've seen that could completely derail your sale. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it is and how you can avoid it. And trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Of course, as always, if you have any questions or you would like to have a chat, feel free to schedule a call with me using the link below in the description. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.